Welcome back to the Epicurean Smokes coverage of the Premium Cigar Association Trade Show 2025.
Stephen here from Epicurean Smokes. Today we're here with Corey, the brand manager of Gloria Cubana. Thanks for being here with me. I appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely, thank you.
So what are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about the newest full-time cigar from Gloria Cubana. We're calling Los Gloriosos.
Very nice. I like the name.
So this is a very special project for Gloria. Ernesto Perez Carrillo is coming back into the fold, not only blending the cigar for us, but creating it in his factory full-time for us at Casa Carrillo.
Wow, okay. That's very nice. And can you tell me a little bit about the cigar itself?
Absolutely. So we approached him and asked him for a full-bodied cigar, which if you know Ernesto blends, not difficult for him to do.
He can do that.
He can do that. So he did just that with an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, 2 binders, both from Nicaragua, and then fillers from Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic.
Okay, very nice. So I like multi-filler blends personally.
Absolutely.
So that's very nice.
Yep.
So I was a fan of the Gran Legado that came out, so I do have a review for that for any of you who want to check that out. But you let me know that you were involved in that project as well. Can you speak to that as well?
Yeah, so that project was all about really showcasing the craftsmanship and the tradition down in our factory in the Dominican Republic, and really kind of honoring the best artisans we have and most dedicated cigar rollers that we have. It's just an extremely personal project. We went down there and filmed some content and really just showed the workers, the rollers down there, that we care about their story. The end result, as you saw, was a beautiful cigar, great craftsmanship and a great smoke.
Yeah.
Did really well and just told the story of La Gloria being, having boutique roots, and just finding the best of the best.
Yeah, no, it is a fantastic cigar. It's a great blend. The signature touch on the band is it's meaningful. It's
Absolutely.
Meaningful.
Yeah.
And so I think it was very well done. I enjoyed that one.
Thank you.
So we've talked about the new Gloriosos. We talked about an earlier cigar from the year. Is there anything else you'd like to highlight about the brand for PCA 2025?
Really just going back to how special this brand is, especially for Ernesto and his family. Getting to work with him personally, I could just see the dedication, the passion that he has for this brand. The flame never went out. He built his own brand, Epicurean, but he never forgot about his lady. So he's coming back, and we just love that.
That's fantastic. So we're at a trade show. We're at PCA 2025. You're dealing with a lot of retailers coming in. Mm-hmm. What's an important take-home that you'd like to make sure to drive home for retailers?
Drive home for retailers, just the fact, we're in a changing economy. We have to pivot. We have to be aggressive with deals and prices. And, as a manufacturer of cigars, we are very conscious of that. So this was created specifically to kind of start a new foundation for La Gloria, tell that story of craftsmanship of Ernesto, but offer it at a price point that's very approachable. So these actually start at only $8.99 for the Toro,
Okay.
and then up to $11.99 for the Grandioso, which is a 7x58.
Wow, okay.
So even though smokers may be trading down on price, they don't have to trade down on quality.
That's fantastic. It's always good to hear. For any consumers that might be watching the interview, what would you like to convey to them?
I guess it just resonates the same, but
It does.
Give La Gloria a shot if you haven't already. We have a great portfolio of blends that have been around for decades. Classic and Serie do fantastic for us. Those were blended by Ernesto decades ago. We maintain great craftsmanship in our factory, and just really want to bring new consumers back into the brand of La Gloria Cubana.
I think that's fantastic. Before we get to my final question for you, is there anything else you'd like to tell the viewers or to talk about with maybe the core line?
Sure. The Serie S line is relatively new within the portfolio of La Gloria Cubana. Mm-hmm. We do have the Serie S Natural, which isn't seen too often, a lot of times with the San Andreas wrapper. You see Maduro, which we do have as well. But the San Andreas Natural Wrapper is a very, very good smoke. Much like everything else, but I would definitely recommend giving Sirius a try if you're into San Andreas wrappers.
Very nice. Okay, well, thank you for that. The final question I always like to ask is, you're on a deserted island. You only can bring one cigar. What do you bring?
So it's not really a brand per se, but test blends from various factories. Like, with this project, I went down to Casa Carrillo and sat down with Ernesto, and we smoked very strong cigars to figure out what the right blend was. And some of those we obviously didn't go with, but they're extremely good cigars, and you just won't be able to get them ever again.
I get that. I've gone through that process with a friend who started a brand, and getting to try the unbanded test blends in advance.
Absolutely.
It's a special part.
It really is.
Of what comes out at the final. You
really
get to see the final product, and it's a fantastic final product. But to be involved in advance is really special.
Yeah.
It makes me happy to hear that you got to do that.
Absolutely.
That's how awesome I think that is.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that with me.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Okay.